They love the autumn, and my name is Jakob and I'm a Dane, and I will get back to that later in the presentation. But I'm here to talk about death, digital existence, and myself. Let me start out by saying that death is a hot topic, and it always has been. We just seem to forget that it's actually death that drives us to build our great civilizations, to develop philosophical thinking, and to invent great stuff. Autumn is the death season. We have Halloween weekends, where we have kids high on candy and teenagers drunken out of their minds, walking around looking like cadavers, which actually is death put on display as a celebration and a commodification. We have the annual cultural exchanges where we sort of invite the Mexicans to perform their Mexican Day of the Dead. And we also have here in the UK the Remembrance Day, where we remember those who actually lost their lives for what we might believe in. And we, of course, have to touch upon the tragic events of this weekend as well. Some tragic events will be gaining more attention than others, and some of them will be written into political discourses, which is a sad thing in itself, you could say, when it comes to surveillance, immigration, and other things. But if we go way back to the ancient times, we've always been designing things to either praise or appease the dead, structures and monuments. For instance, locations like the Stonehenge or just markers in the cemetery has been things we use to fixate biographies in place and time. But as with everything, these will wear down, crumble, wither away, and people will be forgotten. But as new technologies come around, they always seem to be remediating death. And the internet is no excuse. It's also a death technology, and social media networks are now being used to sort of preserve the dead in means of media and photographs and recordings. But the question is actually these two guys here. I mean, this guy, he has to deal with likes and comments, and this guy here, he has to deal with his bad hair every day. Which version is me, actually? And when I access information about another person, well, that contradicts my memory of that person. So if you look at my different ways, some people will probably make history books for better or worse. But me, myself, and all my representations, we will definitely probably fade away over time into obliteration, which is a scary thought. But so let's just save everything, let's save every moment. But that's scary too, because how do I gain control about all these things that I put out there on the internet, especially if I'm dying? Who has control over these things? And the idea that we can, okay, never mind. Biggest problem for humanity is our mortality, and this guy, Sergio Galavero, the Italian neurologist, definitely gets off on his neurology here, but he has a project that he calls Extreme Longevity Through Transplant Surgery to cure this mortality problem. Another approach to immortality is the breaking of the confinement of our mind in our physical body, so that we at one time will be able to sort of live as holograms, which is the post-humanist way of going for mortality. But while we wait for that to happen, we might as well have a look at some of the services that already exist online, where we can actually postpone our presence among the living even after we are dead through these post-mortem messaging. So we record messages while we wait for us to die, and then send them to the loved ones. But he questions, I mean, does these messages continue to have value to those who receive them? Kids grow up and wives, or widows, remarry, and how will it be to have these memories lingering on? Other services take it a step further, where we actually have active agency from a simulation of ourselves that will continuously post things on social media for our loved ones after we die. Yeah, people are shaking their heads. Imagine your father getting one of these. He loves jazz and he loves horses, and now after he's died, he will continuously post things about that to you. I mean, does that change your perception of him being dead? Is he dead, or do you want to kill him again? So we have made a design competition that actually invite people to think about these ideas and these fictions and come up with proposals. And you can read more at thefuturecemetery.org, and I will leave some leaflets at the door. To sum up, it's hard to predict about the future, but aiming for the impossible would definitely cast off some great inventions along the way. But just ask yourself, what kind of digital legacy, what material do you actually have right now, and how will you pass that on, and who has to deal with that? Yeah, I don't really trust humanity with immortality, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't go for it if it was there. I just want to say that as maps are representations of a reality, so has this talk been about being human in a digital age. And thank you for your attention.